Welcome back to Ales and Fails. I'm Gannon.
And I'm Nikki, and today we are presenting the Icons of the Realms adult Moonstone Dragon. This is admittingly my second favorite dragon, and I am so excited to get into it with you guys today. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Oh boy. Here it is. Wow. It's almost overwhelming. I'm so impressed with how absolutely stunning this sculpt is. One really cool fact about the fairy dragons is they actually have a little bit of hair. They got a little beardy guy, a little bit going on there, and they got a little chest hair, a little fuzzy going on. Another thing that I love about these Moonstone Dragons is the legend suggests that in the time of creation, a dragon actually fled to the Feywild when the original gods were coming to invade the realm, and it hid a clutch of eggs, and the magic of that realm actually imbued these eggs, and that is how the Moonstone Dragon became the Moonstone Dragon. They also are known for them being a Moonstone Dragon for that beautiful large curved horn on their head that looks like a crescent moon. And they are an elegant dragon with green fur.
Keep it on.
They are an elegant dragon with green fur on their chins, chests, and back and tails. Which again, I just think that that's really cool that they're kind of cute and fuzzy.
We could have gotten some more glue on the base of that. Unfortunately, that was just a normal pickup. Shouldn't be a huge deal. It's just a matter of gluing it back together. But
good save though.
Yeah, at least I caught it. I do love these. We just had gotten read up because I actually wasn't sure a whole lot about them. But reading about them, they are very cool. They usually also make their lairs in places that are kissed by the moon, in a sense. At the top of mountain peaks, forests with, clearings in them, or the edge of a, nice lake, calm lake, is where they usually would make their lairs. And they also are known to have multiple ones, just like the time dragons, which is just awesome. And they actually use portals, magical portals, to connect the different layers. Unlike time dragons, they actually keep their hordes. And don't abandon them or anything like that. So they do have portals that go in between their different layers, which is awesome. I would assume probably to where they can hit different points of, full moon or something of those sorts maybe, which would be awesome.
Another really cool fact, talking about their hordes, is like a couple other dragons we've talked about, their hordes are not quite like most other people's hordes. If you're trying to go in and find some really cool treasure in a dragon's horde, a Moonstone Dragon might not be your choice. They actually prefer things that are cherished treasures, such as a song sung from the heart or a lock of hair from a loved one. Things that have emotional attachment to you is something that they would find valuable, which might not be valuable to all of us.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're trying to get rich, it's still probably a place that you want to go, because they may not like gold, but they are absolutely obsessed with silver and platinum at the same time.
True.
Resembling the moon. So if you're still looking to get wealthy, that's, good luck. But
good luck,
that's one way to try and do it. Moonstone Dragons can project themselves into the realm of people's dreams that, stay or sleep near their lairs, which they do so in order to spark, adventure in different heroes and make them do heroic deeds. Also help inspire artists and thinkers, things of those sorts, through their dreams. They do just enjoy that.
I've also heard that in the Feywild themselves, because that's where they come from, they even like to become teachers and sharers of this great knowledge. They actually have more of a passion for their fellow living creatures than, say, some of our other dragons, and that's something that you can really appreciate, that not all dragons are out there to be slain. This guy wants you to be his friend and wants to teach you some really cool stuff maybe along the way and
Yeah.
inspire you on a really cool adventure.
Yeah, they're actually known to also be like the anchors of communities, and that hold the communities there and together in certain ways. So that's also really cool. They're known to be, when they're young, a little bit more mischief. But as they grow older, either they become, just like she was saying, teachers, things of those sorts. But some of the other ones can just become, well, rude, a little bit pompous.
And to be fair, if they do decide to be a little bit rude or pompous, a good thing for you to know is ancient Moonstone Dragons will have a CR of around 21, adults at 15, a young Moonstone at 8, and a wormling of only 2. And the Moonstone Dragon has 2 breath weapons.
Just like the Deep Dragon.
I was going to say, and just like our Time Dragon,
Yeah.
so you better watch out for both.
Yeah.
The dragon exhales a mist in a 90-foot cone.
Which
and
is massive
that
compared to some of the other cones.
Yeah, if you think about it, 90 feet is
It's huge, especially on a battle map. I mean, most battle maps are maybe 120 feet, and that's if you're pushing it. So
Right, and even people at a range wouldn't be more than 90 feet away usually.
Yeah.
But beware, each creature in that area has to succeed on an 18
Pretty high.
Constitution saving throw or fall unconscious for 10 minutes.
Which that by itself, I mean, if
I mean-
if a couple of your party falls asleep for 10 minutes, I mean, you can make the saving throw again at the end of each turns, or if somebody uses their action to wake you up, you will be woken up. But that just, I mean, that's wasting turns during a combat. Just can be scary, especially the fact that it's 10 minutes. Usually you'll see 1 minute, something of those sorts. 10 minutes is a long time for a sleep spell.
And again, luckily, they're usually pretty nice. However, if you did something to really get on a Moonstone's bad side, you should be wary in that 10 minutes for their second breath weapon, which is Moonlight Breath. The dragon exhales a beam of moonlight in a 90-foot line. Again,
Huge.
90 feet. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And it will be 10 feet wide, and each target must succeed a DC dexterity saving throw or take 9d8 radiant damage.
90-10 radiant damage, which
Yes.
is even crazier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and
Ouch.
that's a lot of damage. And usually beams are only 5 feet wide, and the fact that it's 10 feet wide is even scarier.
Yeah.
I mean, that can really take out a party fast. So that's really cool. I am just going to take it off its base. Unfortunately, we do need to just glue that guy back on. It does happen. I mean, they are made in bulk. So, but the fact that it does have the clear wings is awesome. I do wish they did not actually paint the inside lines of the wings, which I wish they would have, just like they did the outside.
I agree. You can actually, if you look in the miniature, there are definitely some vein details in the wings, the clear part, that could have been complemented a little more. However, I definitely think that at least, again, I love that he has this fur. The hair looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Very cute and fuzzy. He's got that very prominent, beautiful crescent moon head shape, which is what Moonstone Dragons are well known for. And again, at the end of the day, looking at it, I can see that it's very fairy-esque. It is...
Feywild makes a lot of sense, which I didn't know until we started looking into it, that it was Feywild, but once I saw that, it made a lot more sense.
It all tracks, definitely.
Yeah, and another thing about this one is its tail is very thin compared to other dragons, which I just noticed. And the other thing with the paint job on this, they could have done a little bit more on the scales. The scales are sculpted awesome, just
Beautiful
sweet.
sculpt.
I mean, yeah, they look amazing. The sculpt as a whole is just phenomenal. Just the paint job is so plain between the scales, the front of the body, the legs. So they could have done just a little bit something, whether it's just like the way they did here, where they changed the color between the neck and the top scales. Even if it was something like that, really is what most of the miniature could use. Even between the hair, the scales, the back scales, it could use a dry brush.
It needs a small amount of depth
Yeah.
just to give it a little bit more life. But even then, the sculpt itself.
It would be so easy because the sculpt is actually
so good.
There's so many layers to it to where
There really
all
is.
you would have to do is put a very light dry brush on all that, and it would have picked up so much more detail and so much more depth in the miniature as a whole.
Definitely.
That would have changed the complete look of this into something a little bit more, even more Fae-esque, which would have been really cool for them to do.
Definitely. I completely agree. But at the end of the day, it is still a beautiful dragon. Again, my second favorite dragon of all time. And I am so excited to be adding it to our collection.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
So cool.
And yeah, so that's the adult Moonstone Dragon, the Icons of the Realms. If you did enjoy this, please give us a like and subscribe. We are not sponsored, anything of those sorts. This is all out of our own pockets. We're just doing it, try to get you guys reviews as soon as they basically as soon as they come out, as much as I can. So yeah, thank you for watching. Cheers.